Hello, whistle players everywhere. So what I'd like to do a short tutorial on today is rolls, short rolls and long rolls. And we're going to start off with the long roll. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a few little exercises which I use in my teaching, which will help you get a grasp of the timing of rolls, and it's really important that the timing within the ornamentation, within the cut and the tap, are precise. You don't want to start introducing any unevenness when you practice your short and long rolls. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a metronome for some of the exercises because I found it useful, as it helps you to keep in time and it keeps your ornamentation in time. Everything is critical in terms of timing with ornaments, and if your ornaments are not even, slowly when you come to speed them up, they will become uneven. So for instance, so today I'm using a Lear D whistle, and what I'm going to do is show you sort of an idea of how you don't want to be practicing an ornament. Okay, so if we think about the long roll, it consists of three elements: the note, the cut, and the tap. So I'm going to use the note G to do a long roll. Okay, and so the way you need to practice this slowly is evenly. So we're going to go. What you don't want to do is to lengthen the first note and then play the cut and the tap unevenly like this. Because you're introducing an unevenness to the ornament. And when you come to speed that up, it'll just sound untidy. So I always recommend you practice all the ornaments in strict timing. So rather than this. So keep them even, it really does help. And when you speed them up and play them in a tune, that evenness will come through. If you're playing them unevenly, then your ornaments will sound uneven when you speed them up. So if I'm going to start play a tune, say like, now when I speed it up, you can hear all I'm doing is playing the ornaments and the tune quicker. Nothing changes. And if I want to play at breakneck speed, again, all that changes is the tempo. The ornaments are even, the cut and the tap are always even. Now, bear that in mind when you're practicing these long and short roll exercises. Again, it's really important that the timing within the ornament, the note, the cut, the tap, are all even. So what you don't want to introduce is any unevenness in your ornamentation or in your playing. Okay, so here's the first exercise. So I'm going to set my click to 70, and I'm going to start with a simple exercise done fairly slowly. So again, the idea is to work on the evenness. So we start off simple and then we'll maybe get a little bit quicker as we do it. So again, we're just going to start on the note G. So I'm setting up my click at 70. So it's one, cut, tap, note, cut, tap. Here we go. So the way I do my G roll is cut with the note above and tap with the note below. Now, some people like to cut with the B and then tap underneath, which is fine. It just sounds slightly different. Again. Or either way, doesn't really matter because ornamentation, the cut is rhythmic, not melodic. So you shouldn't really be able to distinguish the note which you're cutting with it because you're playing it so quickly, it doesn't really sound as a note. It's more of an interruption to the G than actually sounding the note. What you don't want to be doing is this. Because we're hearing the note cleanly there. And again, this is where having soft, relaxed fingers is really important. And also, try not to lift your fingers way too high off the whistle because, again, the further they go up, the further they've got to come back down. So keep it nice and steady, nice and relaxed. So what we can do now with that exercise, again, I'm going to set my click to 70. Now we're going to work between a G and an A, same thing. Note, cut, tap, A, cut, tap, G, cut, tap, A, cut, tap. So what I'm doing regarding my articulation, I am just tonguing the first group of each note. So it's tongue, cut, tap, and then the A, tongue the A, cut, tap. So once you can do that comfortably, then try it just moving with one tongue at the beginning and just let your fingers work. So it'll be like this. So if I set my click to 70 again. So, as you can hear, it's quite laid back and quite unhurried. So what I suggest we do then is if you want to get it a little bit quicker, you can adjust the click on your metronome and move it up to, say, let's have a look. Let's move it up to 90. And again, same thing, just moving between the G and the A. So when you're starting to do your rolls and practicing your long rolls, don't even try them any quicker than that because that's plenty quick enough. Speeding up is a gradual process, and if you try and jump too quickly, you'll introduce sloppiness within your technique. And so, again, it's something which you need to practice slowly, steadily, rhythmically, and above all, consistently, yeah? So we're going to extend on this long roll exercise. And again, I'm going to take my click back down to 70. And we're going to start on the E. Now, so cutting E, cut, tap with the D. F sharp, cut, tap with the E. G, cut, tap. A, cut, tap. B, cut, tap. Don't worry about C or C sharp for now. So same exercise, except we're going to move from the E all the way up to the B, and then we'll go back down. We'll keep it all in the lower register first, okay? So here's a metronome. And so once you get good at that, again, you can zip it back up to 90 and try it at that speed. So at 90, oh, 91, that's close enough. And again, what you do in the lower register, do it in the upper register as well. So we're going. So you're just moving up and down the scale with rolls. So again, once you get good at that, you can combine it and go up to the top and down to the bottom. So again, I'm going to set my metronome to around 90. It's actually 91, so let's get it bang on 90. There we go. Spot on 90. So I'm going to start at the bottom, go all the way up the top. So again, really important to keep the rhythm strict on each click. So the cut note, the cut is on the second click, and the tap is on the third. Note, cut, tap. So as I said, C and C sharp, don't worry about those too much. You don't really, it's very cumbersome to roll a C sharp. Now you can roll a C. Yeah, you can roll a C by this. But it's difficult, and you'll need to practice the heck out of it, because it's getting that movement between there and there. So that is not really a cut. It's kind of like a double tap. So you'd sort of tapping with that and then going from the B to the C again. So and C sharp, well, I mean, you can practice them up, but you tend to find that most whistle players don't really do rolls on C and C sharp. I'm sure some of them do, but I generally tend to use other devices to ornament those notes C and C sharp. Okay, so we've done them fairly slowly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zip my tempo back down to 60, which is, there we go, 60. So now what we're going to do is we're going to practice one of the rolls per click. So that's going to be quicker. So it's going to be note, cut, tap, note, cut, tap. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So let's start on the G and just do a few on the G. So I'll move between G and A. 1, 2, 1. Upper register. Okay, so when you get the hang of that, then we can do the same long rolling exercise going from bottom to top. Okay, breathe when you need to breathe. Yeah, and so after you've taken a breath, articulate with the T, with the tonguing, but try and leave the rest of those notes to flow just under your fingers. So what you're trying to achieve is a nice legato and smooth way of playing. It's important to get that. We don't want to use tonguing too much. In fact, we want to try and avoid using tonguing as much as possible for now. There are styles which use tonguing and it can be great, but it's a tool like anything else. So what we want to try and do is move smoothly between different rolls just by using what we call finger articulation. Okay, so we've gone up and down using the scale, rolling, and just using the C sharp and the D as passing notes. So we've just been holding those notes to get up to the E where we roll F and so on up to the high B. So what we're going to do next is we're going to do the same kind of thing. Now I suggest again you start this at 70 and go fairly slowly. So if I crank my my metronome back up to 70. There we go. So we're going to work in octaves. So we're going to roll a low G, then roll a high G. Again, long rolls. We're going to long roll a low G, long roll a high G, long roll a low A, and long roll a high A. So the way we're going to do this without the click first is and we're not going to tongue to get up there. We're going to simply increase the airspeed. So it's a good thing to practice that, to be able to do that. So again. And I only tongue the very first note in that group. The rest of what you're trying and do is to use your diaphragm. Sorry, it's not really a diaphragm, but using the lower abdomen to increase the airspeed and to get you up there. So we start off slowly, so 1 per click. So and when you get good at that, then if you take your click back down to 60 again, and then you're going to do 1 roll per click. So it'd be note, cut, tap, note, cut, tap. And that's when we're going to start extending the breathing and just changing up from low to high register, back down, back up again. So you want to be able to do this. In the one breath. So here's my click set at 60 again. So starting on just G and A. Okay, so when you get confident at those two notes at that speed, then we can try the same, going up the scale, but using octaves. So here we go. Okay, so there's a few little exercises you can do to help practice those long rolls. So now I'm going to show you a similar kind of thing with the short roll and give you a little bit of an explanation as to how they differ. Okay, so we've done long rolls, which are note, cut, and tap. Now with a short roll, you cut immediately and then you tap. So while the long roll takes up the space of what we call a dotted quarter note or a dotted crotchet, a short roll takes up just a quarter note or a normal crotchet. And so note, cut, tap, note, cut, tap is the long roll, and the short roll is just cut, tap, cut, tap, cut, tap. So again, I'll show you on using the G, and we'll just move between the G and the A on the short roll. So we've got and the A, or if you want to cut with the B, again, either work. So or if you're cutting with the top hand, the top finger, it's up to you. Again, use whichever one you prefer, or use them both if you prefer to use them. Swap them around if you want to. So again, I'm going to set my click to 70, and we're going to do cut, tap. So cut, tap, cut, tap, cut, tap, cut, tap, cut, tap. Now we'll do it on A. So you get the idea of the short roll. And like the exercise we did with the long roll, we can do that up and down the scale. So again, start off slowly. And the upper register. So, and same thing we can do exercise that we moved in between octaves. So we can do the same kind of thing. So we can go. So again, at 70, we can keep it steady. Tap, cut, tap. And again, when we do that exercise, second register as well. So here we go. So what's important is you get used to cutting and tapping on the different notes. And just going up and down the scale is a useful way of practicing those. You may decide that you want to just concentrate, say, on what we call the top hand roll. So the G, the A, and the B, to get good at those first. So again, you can break this exercise down and just do it with top hand rolls. So again, just with the G, A, and B. Or you can practice multiple rolls, short rolls on each note and then move up. So you could do, say, 8 on each, like this. Okay, so those are long rolls and short rolls. Just to recap, really, really important that you practice these as you would anything else in strict time. Yeah, you don't want to elongate any of the notes, especially with the long roll, as I mentioned before. You don't want to do this. Yeah, it should be not. It just introduces an unevenness, and when you come to speed that up, it just doesn't sound good. Yeah, so even practice note cut tap, note cut tap, or with the short roll, cut tap. So when you come to speed up these ornaments, yeah, again, I recommend you do it gradually and take your time. Always better to err on the slower side and make sure that what you're doing is rhythmically accurate. The other thing that I strongly recommend is recording yourself. Yep, it's very, very useful to have a listen to what you're doing. And it's pretty good in terms of helping you to hear the notes which are sounding rhythmic and sounding correct, and the notes which maybe are, shall we say, slightly out of rhythm, or with your ornamentation, what you want to aim for is to get nice, quick cuts and quick taps. Again, you shouldn't really be able to identify or hear the note. Yeah, they're rhythmic. Yeah, they're interruptions to the note. So, as I mentioned before in a previous video on ornamentation, yeah, just play the note, cut the note, tap the note. Interruptions, yeah, all done in the one breath. Or short. Right, I think that's probably about it. Helpful to use a click, certainly at the beginning, just to make sure that your placement of your notes and your cuts are accurate and you're doing them evenly. Have a go, see how you get on. Hopefully you found this little tutorial useful. If you have, I would really appreciate it if you would give me a subscribe. And if you would like to let other people know about the Whistleblowers YouTube channel, they may be interested. I'm planning to do quite a few more videos on various different techniques. And also I'm planning to do some more further tune breakdowns. So I'll be making some announcements fairly soon. So give me a like, subscribe if you would, share this video with others if you think it might be useful to them. And thanks for watching, and I shall see you again very soon. Bye-bye, folks.